Crucial meeting of the GST Council will kickstart in Srinagar tomorrow, and the meeting is set to take up the key issue of fixing tax rates for various products. And CNBC TV 18 Sapna is in Srinagar, and she spoke to the state's finance minister Haseeb Drabu on his expectations.
My own sense and expectation is that we will have consensus on a very quick consensus on almost 97-98% of the rates. There will be some marginal issues for discussion, which I do hope we will resolve in the course of the next day and a half. And we would certainly push for it, because then at least we get recorded in the Indian economic history that this is the Srinagar Declaration or Srinagar Consensus.
Right.
There will be some areas where some debate will happen, but by and large, the way rates have been funneled into the current rates, I don't see that there should be any problem with consensus on a bulk of those. Some rates will be put up for discussion.
Some rates will be put up for discussion, for example, like,
you will have issues relating to bullion, you will have issues relating to cigarettes, you will have issues relating those kinds of, which are really outliers in a sense, those commodities. But for the mainstream bulk commodities, I don't see much of an issue. We would like to discuss some of the rates on handicrafts, because that's an area which we need to focus on. So some of these will come up for discussion, and I don't see that there should be a problem of consensus on any of these rates.
Right. So 97%, this will also, of course, include the services rate?
There will be some debate on services, yes, but I don't think it will be a contentious issue.
Okay.
Yes.
And debate in the sense that what goes in 18 and what should come in 12%?
Well, that's something that you're saying, what goes to 18 and 12, but I think financial services is a thing to look at. Telecom is something to look at. So we'll have to see some detailing of that has to happen. In terms of the bands, well, it will fall somewhere in the middle bands only.
Okay, so even the current incidence of taxation is around 15 to 15.5% for both these sectors. So obviously then, I mean, so will it be 12, will it be 18?
Well, that's something that the council will take a view tomorrow.
Right.
The officers have recommended some things. Right. So some deliberation will happen, but it won't be something that will be a shock to the system. That's why I said that the way the rates have been funneled, they won't shock the system, they won't disrupt the system. So you will align them maybe 200 basis points up or 200 basis points down, which is not such a shock to the system. So within that also service tax, the issue will be resolved in that manner.
Right, right. So 200 basis point up, 200 basis point down. In the Constitution, also it's mentioned that, if so desired, there can be a band of rates. Now, obviously, GST it's a mix of CGST as well as SGST. CGST more or less will remain unchanged, one rate by the centre. But SGST, will the rates will be more or less aligned, or do you see a possibility of some kind of discretion being exercised by some of the states?
Very limited possibility. I mean, the whole point of these deliberations has been to build this consensus. And we have agonized over it for at least, if you were to take a long-term view, then 14, 15 years. But even in the last 2 years, I have been a part of the GST Council, there has been a lot of discussion on this. The effort being that we would like to see a uniformity of rates across states. So I will be very surprised if you will see a dispersal of rates at the SGST level.